You know what it is. You know what this video is. The title does not deceive you at all. Microsoft. Now let's just talk about Microsoft really much. It was a good company that started out making computers, PCs, and really launched the computer business. Even though people say Apple did, but I think Microsoft really pretty much just launched it it was a very primitive stage for them, is to start on the PC. And then they came out with the Microsoft Xbox. Now the Xbox itself was pretty darn good. It had some good titles. Halo, Combat Evolved. I think they had some other games as well. I just can't remember. I never owned an Xbox, so I don't know. The first Xbox game I played was Halo, Combat Evolved. Then the Xbox 360 came out. People were talking about the ROD, the Code E74 error, the video failures, everything. And I'm just like, why would Microsoft do this? Why would they ship a broken product to consumers and wait 7 years to fix it? If you guys do not know, but you should know because the title is very obvious, it's my rant on Microsoft. So, let's just get started right here. Microsoft, you are the worst, greediest company in the gaming industry, period. Absolutely greedy as all hell. You are the worst company this generation. You are. Now, there's a lot of fanboys on the internet that talk about Microsoft and praise Microsoft. They say, oh, why do you hate Microsoft then? They do all these great, nifty looking things. Okay. What does Microsoft do? They make you pay a subscription to play online, $60 a year, and they want to compare that to PlayStation Plus, when PlayStation Plus is a much better value than Xbox Live. Next thing up is, the fact is that you have to have part of your games cut out as DLC. And people say, well, give us an example. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. They have Marvel vs. Capcom 3 first, incomplete. Not all the characters were on it in the first place. And they were all on your disc. All the development was on your disc. But you had to pay in order to access it. That makes no sense. You should never have to pay in order to access part of the game that's already on your disc. You should have no reason to pay Microsoft or pay any company for that. Especially EA or Activision or Treyarch. You don't have to do anything like that. You should not have to do it. And the Killer Instinct game, that's a proven example why people just love enjoying that business practice so much. They just love being ran in the ass. They just love taking it as like, yes, yes, Microsoft, give me some more. That's exactly what the Microsoft fanboys are like. That's exactly what they're like. It just makes no sense. It really makes no sense to me whatsoever why Microsoft would actually do this to consumers. And the prime example of Microsoft screwing the consumers was the Xbox One. The DRM policy that Microsoft was going to enforce onto their consumers. And people are saying, well, Microsoft made all these 180s. They changed their DRM policies because they were forced to. You get my point? They were forced to do that. They were forced to reverse their DRM policies. Did you know that? Did you really know that? They had to do a lot of things. They had to get through a lot of lawsuits in order to get there. Especially when they shipped their broken product out to the consumers. The Xbox 360, they went through tons of lawsuits about shipping a broken product. Now, if you people have not gotten the ROD or any kind of error, you must have a godsend of a system. You must have like one of the rarest systems to ever not have an ROD or E74 error. You must have one. I'm just being dead serious here. But anyway, Microsoft just doesn't care about the gamers. It's really a proven fact, people. They don't care about you. Microsoft fanboys, the consoles war has been done with you ever since the Xbox 360 came out. It has been done with you ever since the Xbox 360 came out. How sad is that? Yes. That's right. The console war wasn't even a console war for you guys. I can't stand Microsoft. I love the 360. Don't get me wrong. I played the 360. I like the games they have for it, like Gears of War, Halo, Forza. not really Forza, but Gears, Halo, and that's pretty much mainly what I play on the Xbox 360. But other than that, the Xbox 360 just didn't have any games. It really did not. They put all this stupid Kinect out in front of your face. Kinect, the future of gaming. Remember that? Remember the Milo, the Project Natal that they were going to do? They scrapped that. And guess what they made? Sesame Street. Kinect Sesame Street. Kinect Disneyland. Disneyland of all things they actually had to create. Do you see my point here? That Microsoft just does not care about the gamers at all. If they cared about you, they would not give you a subscription to pay online. They would not cut part of your games as DLC. They would not put ads on your dashboard. The first time I put on the the 360, I just saw this like DiGiorno ad. What? Oh my god! Really? They spammed ads on your dashboard. And don't say they didn't. They did. If you've seen a discount tire commercial, a Maserati commercial, a Mazda commercial, a Domino's commercial, a Pizza Hut commercial, you know for a fact that they are making money off of their ad revenue that you have a paid service to. $60 a year you pay. Microsoft makes more off their ad revenue. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what their strategy was. And also, they made PC gamers pay for games from Windows Live. Now, if you don't know what the relevance to that is that PC gamers have Steam. One of the best services on the PC by far. And then they games from Windows Live. Microsoft wanted them to pay for their titles. Yet they have barely any titles in their catalog. And games from Windows Live is just like Xbox Live Gold. Exactly like it. Do you see how desperate Microsoft has been? Just trying to steer the gamers away from the PC and then just take hold of them. They forced the Kinect. Why should you have to pay the Xbox One and have the Kinect with it? Why couldn't it just be like an accessory that you get at Walmart or something like that? An accessory that you need just for the experience, pretty much. But they bundled it with the Xbox One because they made the excuses like, we want everyone to have the best experience possible on the Xbox One. That is bullcrap. They do not want that. They want you to always be online and thrust ads in front of your face in order to make money off of it. Their main purpose is to screw the gamers out of their wallets. That is exactly what they're doing. The reason why Microsoft came into the gaming company is this. Now, all the fanboys, they make so many excuses. They damage control Forza 5. Why would you even do that? If you guys did not know, Forza 5 was supposed to be, you had a free-to-play game, or not a free-to-play game, where you had to pay in order to download. You had to download the content on your disc. You had to download it. It's a free-to-play game where you had to download the content off of Xbox Live. But they changed it, and they said that you can play your campaign, but you can't finish it. You can't finish the single-player campaign of Forza 5. You have to go online and download the remainder of the game. Isn't that just maniacal? They cut your game in half, really. They took a saw, they put Forza 5 onto the table and sawed it in half and gave you half of the game. That is exactly what they did. That's exactly what Microsoft did. That is the analogy for what Microsoft has done to you since the beginning of the Xbox One ever revealed. That is exactly what they're doing to you. And all the publishers are supporting it. They're supporting Microsoft's business strategy to cut games in half. Remember EA? They cut off Mass Effect 3. A vital character to the story, you had to pay for him. But it was already on your disc. Why should you have to pay EA in order to access a very vital part of the storyline of the Mass Effect universe and pay for a character? Just one character that you had to pay in order to get the rest of the story. They forcibly yanked the storyline from your feet and they said, here, give us some money. We'll give you the story. You just got to give us some money. That's exactly what EA did. That's exactly what EA did. And what EA is doing now with all these Madden games and FIFA games and sport games entirely, don't tell me they're not going to do it again. They're going to totally do it. They're going to totally do it. I guarantee. I'm calling it because EA is one of the worst developers this generation. Absolutely horrible. I can't stand EA. I really can't. Battlefield 3. Why should you have to have an online pass in order to play the game? And I think, unfortunately, they're thinking you to pay for online passes. So they're pretty much following Microsoft's strategy of paying for a service online. First off, you should never have to pay online. Never have to pay to play online. If you buy the game or buy the console, you have every right to play it online for free. Think about it. You're going to pay $500 for an Xbox One, and you have to pay $60 to get all the features on your Xbox One. There are 81 features locked behind Xbox Live Gold, guys. Locked behind a paywall. And some of the features make no sense. Game DVR. Why should you have to pay Microsoft in order to record game footage that the machine can do by itself? The machine can do it by itself, but you have to pay Microsoft $60 a year in order to access that feature. Why should you do that? Why should you have to pay for USC? You have to pay Microsoft $60. You have to pay a fee to watch a USC fight. Netflix. You have to pay them, Microsoft, $60 a year in order to pay Netflix. I think it's $8, $9 a month, I believe, in order to access their service. Makes no sense whatsoever. Makes no sense. Microsoft just has one of the worst things that ever happened in gaming. It's what spawned fanboys. Ever since the Xbox 360 came out, there were fanboys. Now, when the PS2 and the the PS2 and the Nintendo GameCube and the Xbox came out, there really weren't that many fanboys. Not that I saw. But when the Xbox 360 came out, and this particular game that came out, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, fanboys went rampant across the gaming industry. Call of Duty fanboys, Halo 3 fanboys, Forza fanboys, console fanboys, PC fanboys. There are so many things wrong with these people. That is what Microsoft did. Of course, Microsoft didn't make PC fanboys. That was just the PC themselves. Fanboys had their own way of getting, they had their own way of, being a fanboy. Things of that nature. But, Microsoft made drones. They were marketing geniuses, and they made drones. And that's happening right now because people actually paid in order to play online. They liked having half of their game cut and part of its DLC. They like having ads on their dashboard. And guess what? You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. So you pretty much just made gaming on the Xbox platform obsolete. Thank you, fanboys. Thank you for screwing up gaming so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You've done an admirable job at destroying gaming. You really have. You really have just done an amazing job just screwing up the gamers. Thank you, Microsoft, for actually creating drones to actually just defend themselves to the death. And I mean to the death, in order to praise their Xbox One or the Xbox 360. Thank you. Thank you for destroying gaming, Microsoft. Thank you. I really can't thank you hard enough. That's pretty much all I gotta say. I'm done. I'm done with the rant here. So, gamers, please do not pay attention to these piece of garbage fanboys. Please don't pay attention to the Xbox One. The Xbox One is a terrible system. It really is. I mean, there's so much potential for this Xbox One to be good if Microsoft actually utilized that potential. Now, once again, I'm going to say it right now. I don't hate the systems. I love the Xbox 360. I think it had potential to be a good console with the amazing online service, but except you had to pay in order to access it, which is bullshit. And so many other good things. Despite the hardware failures, yes, that pissed me off of why they shipped it having red rays to death and video failures and your disc tray getting jammed. I don't see why they did that. Now, of course, not every company is perfect. Every company has its greed. We all know this and stuff like that. But Sony and Nintendo have greed to different extents, though. They're not really focused on making money. They're focused on caring about the gamers, giving the gamers what they want, and making profit off of it. That is called consumer loyalty, which is what Microsoft does not have. They don't. So that's pretty much it. It's about 17 minutes, and I think that's pretty much enough for a rant there. So that's pretty much all I got to say. And for the fanboys of the Xbox platform, please make a video response, or please come up with some amazing excuse to why Microsoft has not done this in the first place. Please come up with a great excuse. And it's going to be amazing. I'm going to watch the damage control happen in the comments below. You can dislike this video as much as you want. But the truth is going to come out. And that is what Microsoft has done to the gamers. So anyway, this is Seabasscrew here with my crazy rant on Microsoft. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Peace out.